Hello, in this video we're going to have an overview of the Stealthwatch SecureX integration and the different available features with this integration. First of all, we're going to have a look at the dashboard. So one of the first things that comes with Stealthwatch and SecureX integration is the ability to have a dashboard that shows Stealthwatch finding inside SecureX. So the dashboard can be added using the new dashboard button, and then you have a list of the different integrated solutions. In this case, I'm showing only Stealthwatch Enterprise, and these are the different available types, from alarming host by category to top outside host traffic, network visibility, top inside host group traffic, visibility assessment, top alarming host by count, and top alarming hosts. So these are the different tiles. Once you click here, you can add those as you wish to the dashboard, and then you can click save. You can also change the naming of the dashboard or customize those dashboards by yourself, like changing the name to new dashboard, and this dashboard will have a new name. You can have different types. I have an already built one exactly the same dashboard. What happens is it's gonna put the information that coming from Stealthwatch into this specific dashboard. So the first section is the alarming host by category in Stealthwatch. This one shows the information that's visible in Stealthwatch main dashboard, the top banner that shows all the different alarm categories. The numbers here, 1 indicates that there is 1 alarming host under the alarm category called concern index, 2 on data hoarding, and 1 on anomaly. If you look at the right top outside host traffic, this will show the traffic for the outside host groups, also showing them by the most traffic to the least one. If you need more, then you actually can go back to Stealthwatch. At any point on these host groups, you can actually click this button and it will pivot to Stealthwatch. This pivot will be to that specific host group that we're looking at from a traffic perspective. Will show the what is called in Stealthwatch the host group dashboard inside Stealthwatch. Once the pivot has finished, you can actually see the inside host group dashboard showing the different traffic from this host group, the alarms at the top, the traffic to the different outside and inside destinations, the top applications, and also the top alarming host as you used to do in Stealthwatch. So going back to SecureX, looking at the different also other tiles in there, we can see network visibility, which is Stealthwatch, which is an overview of the information coming from Stealthwatch about the number of inside hosts, number of outside hosts, the average internal traffic, outside traffic, and also the how much of traffic is actually encrypted or not. Also, you can change the duration that you're looking at. You can look at the last 24 hours or last 7 days. This will automatically load the information back for the last 7 days, looking backward on Stealthwatch. Also, you can see the top inside host group traffic. This is showing the top inside host group traffic for that for different host groups defined inside Stealthwatch. So you can see desktops, end users, data center, compliance system, for example, and you see the amount of traffic. It's also showing that from perspective of top traffic to lowest traffic. At any point, also, you can pivot by clicking on different bars in here to the host groups view. So similar as we did previously, so I'm not going to do that again. On the left side, also, you have another tile called Visibility Assessment with Stealthwatch Enterprise. This is specific to the visibility assessment report that used to be an application. Now it's part of the core product dashboards. You can actually see for the last 24 hours or also 7 days. This will show different information that the visibility assessment report actually loads by default inside Stealthwatch. So clicking on any of those will also pivot to Stealthwatch, but this time it's going to be specific to the visibility assessment for that specific time frame. So for now it's today, since we clicked on and we are viewing today. So you can see again the visibility assessment from Stealthwatch perspective. The for example, internal network scanners. You can see the top risk countries with a different list of countries also. So it pivots back to where the data comes from Stealthwatch perspective. Going back to SecureX again, you can see also the top alarming host for Stealthwatch Enterprise. This will bring the top alarming hosts, that it's actually a widget inside Stealthwatch. Same information is displayed in here as part of that, including the host group that these hosts belongs to and the categories of alarms. Also, it shows the top alarming hosts. So if you need to see all the list of hosts, you can click again, view all hosts. This will also pivot to that specific list of hosts that shows inside Stealthwatch. Once the pivot has loaded, you can actually see the list of all the hosts that have alarm inside Stealthwatch by the top alarming host down to the least alarming hosts. Also, if you go back to SecureX, at any point once you see an IP, you can actually click on that IP. It will automatically also pivot to Stealthwatch, specifically on the host that you clicked on. It will show what we call inside Stealthwatch the host report for that specific host. Once the pivot has ended, you can actually see the different information for that host, the alarm categories, the host information, the ICE applied policy in case you have ICE integrated, top traffic, alarm by type, different security events, and all the information that we can gather inside Stealthwatch host report. So this was the information for the SecureX dashboard, Stealthwatch dashboard inside SecureX. So moving on from the SecureX Stealthwatch dashboard to Stealthwatch and the pivots that we can do from Stealthwatch to SecureX. First of all, if you look at any point inside Stealthwatch on any IP, you can actually click the three dotted next to that IP and look at the pivot menu, which is loads automatically the SecureX one. Once you click next to that arrow, you'll be able to see the different possible integration that you have. Depending on the list of integration, this list will grow bigger. And you'll also see the different pivots that you can do to Talos, to Umbrella, to AMP, or even to trigger some SecureX orchestration workflows, which are explained in different videos on how to create those workflows and trigger them. In this case, for example, you can see the internal block, which is an actual orchestrator workflow that will trigger. If you click this button, it will actually go into orchestrator and run a workflow that will help isolate the host from AMP perspective if AMP for endpoint is installed on that host. You can actually have a perimeter block, which is going to block this IP from a perimeter perspective in case you have also that integrated workflow inside SecureX. So this is the first thing you can see. The pivot also allows you to do investigate and threat response. This will automatically load Cisco threat response and investigation on that specific IP. This is where actually Stealthwatch has been sending this alarms that we have inside Stealthwatch to SecureX Incident Manager or CTR Incident Manager. In this case, you'll be able to see the different other events from Stealthwatch and other product perspective, whatever you have integrated inside your solution. You will also see a graph of relationship between this IP and the different hosts inside the network from an alarming perspective, if this host has generated other alarms from Stealthwatch, also from other products. On the right side, you'll be able to see the observables, which are the security events, not the alarms, but also the events for that specific host. You can see also the indicators, which means what we think about this host from different products. In this case, we have Stealthwatch information about this product, that this IP is doing, contacting multiple hosts using TCP. So particularly it's doing a scanning. On top of that, you can see also the sightings, when this observable have happened, the source of that observable, the severity of that observable, and also you can see the source, the target of that specific event, and also where it comes from. Again, at any point in here, you can actually click on Cisco Stealthwatch Enterprise, and this will bring back a pivot to Stealthwatch on that specific host that we have seen triggering these alarms. This is the pivot mainly from Stealthwatch to SecureX, and from SecureX to Stealthwatch, in addition to the ability to trigger workflows that are assigned from SecureX orchestrator if this integrated part of the solution. Also, another big part of this Stealthwatch SecureX, I think you have noticed there is a ribbon on the bottom side that actually has been moving with me whenever I move tabs. So I move tabs, this information is the same on all the other different tabs. So if you have multiple Cisco solutions integrated, this ribbon will move along with the different tabs you're moving into with the different solutions. This will contain mainly the casebook, ability to create cases or adding information to cases. So you can actually create cases from here and add information to existing ones, or look at incidents. So also you can have orbital integrations. If you have orbital integrated, you can actually launch queries from here. So the different information you can see: casebook, incident, and orbital. Orbital is an AMP module which is also gather endpoint information if you need to do some type of forensic investigation. The incident manager is exactly what we have seen on the incident manager page, but it's consolidated inside the ribbon, and the casebook is also for creating cases. So looking at the incident manager, you can see the different alarms that has been pushed from Stealthwatch to SecureX. So these are in SecureX information. You click on that specific alarm, you can see the summary of that alarm. What is it exactly? You can also see the targets of that alarm, the observables, which means the IPs that are associated with that alarms, or the file hashes in case you have AMP integrated, or for example domains if you have Umbrella, the timeline, the sightings. Again, these are the security event in this case that we have seen, the indicators, and also casebooks if this is assigned to a specific case. Also, you can add assignees, so you can assign somebody for that specific incident, or you can actually start to create a casebook yourself by looking at the different information. So you can click add, and then this will create a new casebook, and you can actually add these different observables like IPs and URLs and other information from Stealthwatch or from other solutions. So as an example, you can actually go into this IP, look at the three dotted next to that IP. You can actually go to SecureX. It will load the menu. You can actually also add this IP to a new case. You can see notification on the bottom side that the new case has been created, and you click on that case, you can see also that IP added automatically there. And once you pivot to other solution, you can see that also inside other cases. Also, you can link this to an incident. You can search for those incidents, and you can link that specific case to an incident in case you are linking those to multiple incidents. Also, you can search not only on incidents in here, you can actually go back to the incident menu and actually search on different incidents. I'm gonna particularly look at a specific incident that's gonna show some more relative information. This is an incident called FTP to outside. It's actually a custom event that's happening from Stealthwatch. We have a policy that doesn't allow FTP to outside. This has been triggered because an FTP has happened from inside to outside. You can see the different information, the timeline, the sightings, and the indicators. Also, you can click investigate the threat response. This will actually pivot automatically to SecureX threat response with those two incident observables, which are the IPs in this case, and look out for the different integration we've got inside SecureX to find out information about these observables. So we can see this IP has connected to outside for FTP event, but also this IP is considered malicious. And also other two events happening from that specific IP internally, which is our internal scanning activity. From the right side, you can see that we have a suspicious IP. This IP is considered suspicious by AMP Global Intelligence and by Talos Intelligence. And also we can see there is a verdict on this IP, which is the external one, and the different sightings from Stealthwatch perspective. So in this case, we have seen an alarm coming from Stealthwatch, but also when we pivot inside the integration with SecureX Incident Manager, we're able to see events from different solutions or different intelligence sources. So with this, this is the end of this section of the pivots and ribbons with the SecureX and Stealthwatch integration. So in the last section of this video, we're gonna look at the integration of SecureX and Stealthwatch as of Stealthwatch 7.3. So specifically in 7.3, the alarms that are actually sent from Stealthwatch to SecureX or to the incident manager as incidents are actually configurable using the response manager. So you go under configuration, you go under response manager inside Stealthwatch, and you'll find the response manager, which is responsible now for doing a lot of different alarming. As a part of the upgrade, by default, you'll get automatically action here in action called create threat response incident. So this is an automated action. You can also look at this action. You can actually define multiple of those, not only one sent to CTR, you can actually define the incident confidence level from low, medium, and high, and you can specify to create targets for that IP for the internal host groups only, or internal and external hosts, not only the internal ones. And you can also specify that you're going to send the alarm data for source host or target host, not only the internal ones. So it's more granular, it's more controllable. What are you sending to threat response? You can create multiple action of sending to threat response and assign them to different rules. So how this actually is being triggered, it's triggered by a rule. And also by default, when you get an upgrade to the next version, automatically you get host alarm to threat response and host group relationship to threat response. So if you click any of those, you can click edit and see anything that's severity major or higher is actually being pushed automatically. And this is the action here triggered to create threat response incident. Also, the same thing for the relationship policy alarms. You can click edit and see that we are actually exchanging or sending the alarms that are actually considered major or higher to CTR automatically. This is the create CTR incident. Again, you can create a new action. You can create different rules by yourself to actually customize how you are sending the different alarms in Stealthwatch to SecureX as an incident with different details, and not only be restricted to certain events. So this was the overview video of the Stealthwatch and SecureX integration, including the dashboard and tiles, the pivots between Stealthwatch and SecureX, the incident manager and the ribbon also, and the casebook, and also how to actually manage what you are sending to SecureX using Stealthwatch 7.3 and the response manager. So hopefully this video has been informative for you guys and you have enjoyed it.